Hi, this is Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here today doing an angel reading for our Pisces group today, and this is for July 2016. We're going to be talking about just the general aspects for the month of July to start with. Then we'll be talking about your career and finances and those aspects for the month of July. Then we will move into our healing, and typically we use Archangel Raphael deck for that. But today I've been guided that Archangel Michael would like to step in and do the healing or health portion of the reading. So we've got Archangel Michael coming in. So if you start feeling warm while we're doing this reading, that will be why. And I am starting out with a sweatshirt, but we'll see if that stays. And then we have messages from our angels will be around relationships. And this month is a little bit different than I've done in months past. This month, some of the relationships, it's not necessarily all about romantic relationships. It can be about other relationships as well during the month of July. So just know when I'm talking about different things that it might relate to, you know, a friend or family member or some other coworker relationship or something else, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The angels are anxious for me to get going, so let us roll. So again, this is a reading for our Pisces for the month of July 2016, and we're going to be doing the general aspects for the month of July. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have life experience as the first card, and this is Archangel Camuel, and the life experience card, I always think about this as it being a time to kind of look back and reflect. And so, you know, part of what Archangel Camuel helps with is sort of those life reviews. And when you look back at your life and see kind of where you've been and what you still are, you know, have in your heart to accomplish, or the things that you're still desiring, right? Archangel Camuel helps with that. And this is really about internal work. And so in this particular card, it is about, you know, sort of a personal revelation. So, and this is something that will lead to change for you. And it can be change in the way that you're relating to other people. It can be change in the way that you're doing your business. It can be change in the way that you're showing up. But it's just a big shift as to how you're seeing yourself in the world, and how you're, you know, presenting yourself to the world is what I keep getting around that. And it is about time, you know, it is about spreading your wings. So lots of times this card can be about, you know, pushing you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. So like when birds are brand new and learning to fly, you know, the mama's got to kind of push them out of the nest, right? And so that's kind of what I feel like this is about too, is really needing that little nudge or push to get you out of the nest and do some things that maybe you haven't done before, some things that are outside your comfort zone, because that's how you grow. And that's how you learn more about yourself and the universe and life in general, is about doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. There's a phrase, and I don't even know who came up with it, but life begins outside of your comfort zone. So that's kind of what's coming through for you guys today. So, and then we have the Six of Water. And water cards, of course, are all about emotion, the depth of emotion. And oftentimes when the water card comes up, it can be, you know, there can be what we call waterworks, right? Tears. And it's really good. They're very, very cleansing. Tears are very cleansing. And I always like to look at, so the number 6 on our Bagua relates to career. And so this may be just some, you know, it could be just, I'm just going to show you guys this. I'll put that in front of my face there. So this is the Feng Shui Bagua. And for those of you that haven't listened to a reading from me before, I am a Feng Shui expert as well. You can get a copy of this Bagua and how to, you know, sort of lay it on your home on my website, findingyourfiji.com. It's a free gift. And that includes also my 9 best tips for attracting abundance. So if you're interested in that. So the Six of Water, what I'm getting around this is it can be about some sadness or just, you know, emotional upset or frustration. I'm getting more, it's kind of a frustration regarding something to do with your work and the career aspect. So, and then the other piece that's coming up around this is that, and this is something I feel like a little bit like a broken record, but you guys haven't listened, you know, you haven't watched the other 8 readings that I've done, right? So what I'm getting and what keeps coming up for a lot of people, but it really is about memories or things coming up from your childhood that are actually affecting you now. So oftentimes you get triggered. Something happens in your life and something triggers you. You get upset, you feel an emotion, right? And typically that's related back to some memory in your childhood or some past memory where when something happened, you formed a belief. And when that belief was formed, be it something that was helpful or unhelpful, that is something that you took with you all of this time. And so lots of times these things are coming up now so that you can react in a new way and let go of that belief that may be limiting you. And of course, I help my clients, my coaching clients, with that type of thing when we do sessions together. We kind of dig up these memories and see what the message is for you in that, because that's really important, and then clear them out. So the other thing that may be coming up for some of you, and I don't get that this is all of you, because of course not all of you have children, but there are some issues coming up around kids during the month of July, and it might just be like they're a little bit restless, maybe a little bit bored, you know, you're kind of midsummer, just some things going on around that. And so what the angels are encouraging you to do is okay, let me just see if I can get a little bit more clarity about this. So they're wanting you, if you do have children that are restless, let's just start it with that. If you have children that are restless, bored this summer, that type of thing, so you sit down with them and brainstorm a bunch of different fun ideas so that they have sort of a list, a go-to list of things that they can do when they're bored, when they're feeling crappy, whatever it might be. You know, it can be as simple as walking the dog, blowing bubbles, coloring, you know, I hesitate to put video games on there because that just is it's so unconscious. When the kids are watching video games or TV, adults or children, it's really an unconscious, you kind of go into a trance when you do that, and it's just not good for anyone. So other things that would get them outside, other things that they could do creatively with their hands, maybe even cooking or baking something, that type of thing. And so that's going to help them just have a little bit more fun this summer. Okay, and then the last card we have sort of in the general part of the reading is the Four of Earth. And the Earth cards are all about how you make your money and what you need to do to be here on Earth. And the 4 in our Feng Shui Bagua is family, related to family. And which sort of makes sense if you think about, you know, standard family, 2 adults, 2 children, right? 4. I don't know if that's how that came to be, but it's interesting to me. And then, so the Four of Earth, what I'm getting around this, so this is a little bit of a duality card. And so when this card comes up, I'm always drawn to one or other of the women on here. And so you can see the one lady is very large and visible, and then there's a smaller one would be to her right. And so what I was drawn to as I was looking at this card is the larger one. And typically what that means is that you're being too cautious with your money. And part of what happens around this is if you let's say you have money and you're like afraid of letting it go, and you're kind of like hoarding it, or you're just hanging on really tight to it, it stops the flow of things to you. And so what they're wanting to say around this is that you're being like too cautious around it. Because when you do that, it stops the flow, and then it doesn't flow in, and then that feeds the fears, right? So it's important for you Pisces this month that you're just not letting your fears or your worries or your concerns or a lack mentality or thoughts of lack or a lack of abundance mentality get in the way of you being in the flow of money. Okay, I don't know how else to say that to you. Okay, and then this is also about making some good business decisions. So in July, I just see there's going to be some very good decisions that you're going to make that are really going to help you move forward in the coming year. And I do feel like you're sort of decorating your it's like you've hung the shingle. So if you think of a business, for instance, you've hung the shingle, you've done a lot of the work around that. Now you're kind of decorating it to attract more people to you. And whether that is, romantically, right, in relationships, or whether that is in business, if you own your own business, attracting more clients, or whether that is, with friendships, or just in general, people are just going to be interested in being around you more. And so that's part of what I see you doing is sort of like decorating. And I have it's interesting because I wore this peacock today, which is all about kind of showing off, right? I mean, well, not all about. They're tough as nails, the peacocks are, but the peacocks also have sort of a very beautiful side that is something that really attracts you. When you look at a peacock with its feathers all fanned out, it's like, you can't help but look at it, and that's where I feel you guys are headed. So it's almost like you're getting your peacock feathers out, if you will. So that's what I'm getting around that. And then the other piece of, the money bit is to be giving to charities right now too. So, when you are too cautious with your money and not donating to charities, that type of thing, that can also stop the money flow. So let's keep going here. So we're going to talk now with Archangel Oracle deck is what we're using for this one, Pisces. And again, this is for the month of July, and this is going to be related to your career and finances, although we have had some of that stuff already come up in the general portion of the reading. But we're going to get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more information here for you. Oops, they want 1, 2, 3. Okay. And that one. Nope. They're correcting me. All right. Got it. That's always fascinating to me too. All right. So we've got a couple different angels that want to help you out. And Camuel, interesting. We have Archangel Camuel again. So that's twice in this reading. Archangel Camuel has come up for you guys. And Archangel Camuel is really wanting to help you with. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little caveat because this has been happening in my readings all month, the ones that I've been recording. So they're not really going line by line. Like I kind of like the organization of, okay, now we're talking about general for the month, then we're talking about career and finances, then we're talking about health, and then relationships. No, they are not doing that this month. And so they're just, whenever different information is coming through, it's coming through. And so we have some relationship information here on the career line, and I'm just gonna put that out there so you guys know that. So this is Archangel Camuel is helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship, the love of your life relationship. And so for those of you that are already in that relationship with that person, Camuel is going to help deepen those bonds for you and really help you kind of juice things up, get things sparking again, if you will. And then for those of you that are not in a relationship, Camuel wants to come in and help you connect with that person. And so I'm not super clear. There are some of you that will meet someone this month, but for others of you, I feel like it's going to be a couple months out. Maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 months out. Is what I'm seeing. And so part of what Camuel wants to do is help you prepare, and that life review is part of it, right? So that connects to that, about kind of taking a look at what you've experienced in relationships in the past. What is it that you liked about those relationships and that person? What is it that you would want differently? And so kind of getting that clarity through looking at, what has happened previously. Okay. So I think we're back on the career and finances. We shall see here. We have Archangel Zadkiel, and this is the compassion card. And so compassion, I always just feel like is such a needed thing, in your work and in your life and in general. Really what he's wanting you to do here is to soften your heart. And so having that compassion for everyone. And that's, I shared a post on my Finding Your Fiji Facebook page, and it was all about, a little bit different response to all these shootings and things like that. And the point is, we are all connected. You and I are connected. You're connected with your next door neighbor. We're all in this together. And so it's really time to just be compassionate to other people, because typically when they're doing something that is harming others, or they're not behaving in a way that feels good to you, it's typically because they're showing you their pain, okay? And they just need even more love then. And oftentimes they're definitely out of alignment, but oftentimes they're just not very conscious as well, and they don't necessarily know all the stuff that you guys know, right? And so really just loving them. If somebody is nasty to you, love them even more, because they need it more than the person that's nice to you, right? So that's what I'm getting around that. And it relates to yourself too. So have that compassion for yourself as well, and make sure that you are being gentle with yourself and kind to yourself and taking care of your body. I'm sure that's going to come up with Archangel Michael as we look at the health and healing piece of it, but really taking good care of your body and making taking care of yourself and your personal energy field and all of that your first priority, and particularly in the month of July. Okay, and then, oh yay, we have Archangel Jophiel. I love Jophiel. She's our feng shui angel. And so, yeah, right? Who knew? There was a feng shui angel. There is a feng shui angel. And it's Archangel Jophiel. And this card is about clearing your space. And, well, actually a couple things. It's about getting rid of clutter. So going through and clearing out anything that is no longer serving you. I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys before, but there's a wonderful book that is by Marie Kondo, Kondo, and it's called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And it's a way of getting rid of clutter that does it once and for all. And if you follow her process, you start, with clothes and keep going. Go in the order that she recommends, because it gets easier and easier as you go to get rid of stuff. And Lordy, it feels so good when you get that stuff out of your life that no longer serves you. It really, really feels good. You're going to feel lighter. You might actually even lose weight. Because that's a lot of times what's happening for people is, they have this heavy energy in their home. And and so to sort of protect themselves from that energy, they might be eating more or whatever, that type of thing. So getting rid of clutter, clearing the space. So I have a video that I did. You can look, if you search in my YouTube videos, it's about clearing your space. So take a look at that video. I recommend using sage, like smudging with sage, sage bundle, or you can use like the white sage incense sticks. That works too. I like the bundles for doing a really good clearing though, and using a feather to sort of get in the corners. So you can watch that video to find out a little bit more about that. And then using feng shui. So if you haven't gone out and grabbed my free gift, I have 9 fast feng shui fixes to attract abundance. It's my 9 best tips to attract abundance. And that is a way for you to get started. I also have lots of blogs. I just wrote one about mirror, mirror on the wall. So we use a lot of mirrors and feng shui adjustments, and it gives you a little bit, some do's and don'ts related to mirrors. And so lots of good information that you can get started. And of course, I do offer private consultations for feng shui. I do those over Skype for people that are not local in the Twin Cities. And it is amazing. I can't even tell you the shifts that my clients have had related to feng shui. They've gotten new jobs. Their health has improved. They've, gotten just shifts in family relationships. They've, gotten healthier. There's all kinds of different things that have happened. I have really good success, and one thing that I love to work with is business owners that have, kind of a smaller business space, well, even bigger business spaces as well. But I like the business spaces because you see difference so quickly. I had one client who's a chiropractor, and she had been open about 8 months when she called me, and it was she knew me from some other people, and they just kept telling her, you need to call her, you need to call her. And literally after I was there and we made some shifts, I made some recommendations, she changed a few things around. And not simple, like it didn't cost her anything to do it. It was kind of like moving furniture around and doing some things with intention. She doubled her biggest month ever in the time that she had been open. The month after I was there, and it just, business has been really good for her to the point where now she needs to hire an assistant, right? So good quality problem right there. But just that sort of gives you an example of the power of feng shui. And there's so many other things too. There's a it helps you feel more supported. It helps kind of balance relationships. There's all kinds of different things. So I'm not going to go on and on about that. But I just want to let you know that that is available for you. Okay, Archangel Michael is wanting to come in to do your health and healing aspect of your reading, Pisces, for the month of July. Let's see what he's got to say. So that's really interesting too. So this line that we just did was about kind of career and finances. And people are like, well, what does feng shui have to do with money? Or what does clearing your clutter have to do with your career? It will shift things. I can't even describe in words how much clearing out clutter will help shift things. Because number one, it creates a vacuum. So if you have old client files, for instance, that you haven't cleared out and organized, I would kind of start doing that, because that helps create a vacuum for new clients to come in. So that's just kind of one example of, where you clear out clutter, then it allows you space for the new to come in. So there's, and I do have a couple blogs on working from home too. So for those of you that work out of home offices, like you're in your house, it's a big difference when you do that, because there's a lack of separation. There's different things going on there. So I do have a couple blogs related to that as well. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so this is related to your health and healing, and we have Archangel Michael letting you know it's time to leave an unhealthy situation. Okay, so what I'm getting around this is lots of times our physical environment, the place that we work, or our home, or even a relationship can affect our health. Okay, and so what Michael is coming in to say is that, and those of you that are going through this right now know this, like you can feel the toxicity in whatever it is. It could be a toxic relationship, it could be a toxic employee, a job place. It could be your home itself is just not supporting you and it's time to leave. So it's really a clear message. You can't get much clearer than that about time to move on. And those of you that are in this position, you know it, like you've been feeling it. And you can notice the difference when, if it's a relationship, when you're around that person, how you feel. Versus when you're away from them. Same thing with an environment. When you're around that environment, how do you feel there versus when you're away from it? That's a good measure for you. Okay. So I'm going to just bring this up. There's someone that is popping into your mind right now, and I want just you to keep that person in your mind as we go through this. And this is Archangel Michael wanting to let you know that this person is trustworthy. So this might be a medical care provider. It might be a, just thinking we're in the health and healing line here. It could be a healing practitioner, masseuse, something like that. And they're just wanting to let you know that this person is trustworthy and that you can open your heart to them. And this actually can also be about a relationship, a romantic relationship. I'm getting for some of you it's related to that as well. And part of what I'm feeling is big walls up around your heart. And so it's difficult for people to come in, and it's often difficult for you to trust people, but this is someone that you can trust, and you know who I'm talking about when I bring that up, because you will have again felt it in your body when you're like around the person. You're like, okay, yeah, I think this person's okay. Like I feel like I feel connection with them, right? Yeah. Okay. And then, so related to your health and healing, use your imagination and you'll find the answers. So we have this beautiful, wonderful, I'm just going to keep that up for there for a second. We have this beautiful, wonderful mind, imagination, right? That can really help us shift things. And what Archangel Michael is coming through is just wanting you to open to the possibility of miracles, because really anything can happen. What's that song? I can't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the song, but anything can happen is one of the lines in the song. And it's true. It's truly, truly true. And so Archangel Michael is just wanting to sort of open your imagination. And again, I use an analogy regarding like having this radar screen around us, right? So I'll move over this way a little bit. So you have this radar screen and you can see what's on this screen. You can see what's right there. But there's so much more outside of that. And same thing with your comfort zone. We can use this for your comfort zone too. So this could be your comfort zone. And there's so much more outside of that. And you just can't even fathom or imagine because you can't see it. But they're wanting you to really open your mind up to the possibilities that are even more wonderful than you can imagine. Okay? And again, that's related to your health and healing and how you can feel in this body of yours. All right, so let's move on to relationships, Pisces. This is for the month of July 2016. And again, this isn't always going to be related to your romantic relationship. Some of these cards may relate to like a family relationship, friends, co-workers, something else. All right, so we have Angel Crystal. I'm just going to show you that one. So Angel Crystal, and this is really kind of the faith and hope card. It's about, again, so we have a little bit of a theme going here for you guys, Pisces, is about seeing the potential and being open to the possibilities. And this is really wanting to let you know there's something positive on the horizon related to your relationship. And it's, again, something that you can't see yet. You know, it's beyond where you can see. It's out there, but you can't quite see it yet. And so now is the time to have that faith and hope. And for those of you that aren't in a relationship that can relate to your love of your life is out there, right? And part of it is you needing to ready yourself for that, and part of it is being open to that connection and listening to the guidance that you're getting, right? About where to go, you know, who to connect with, that type of thing can be a connection. Okay, and then Angel Daniel is coming up, and this is the angel of marriage. And so for those of you that are in a marriage already, he's helping you. Just helping you balance things out right now, and so really helping with that relationship for you. And then for those of you that aren't in a relationship yet, or maybe you are and it hasn't gotten to this point, I do see marriage in your future. And typically when Daniel comes through, he's helping orchestrate that. He's helping line things up. And of course, we all have free will. You can always choose not to, you know, meet the person. You can always choose not to listen to that guidance about relationships. But he is doing what he can to assist you in this regard. Okay. And then this is Oceana. This is such a pretty card. I really like it. Angel Oceana. And this card is really, again, it's kind of about being in a space where you can see or feel the truth of the situation. I'm going to say feel for you guys because I feel like you have, that's more of a stronger sense for you. And so you can feel the truth in the situation. And they're just wanting you to trust your gut and your intuition and your intuitive guidance, and then assert yourself. So, you know, when you have a sense about something that just doesn't feel right, it's not sitting well with you, you know, certainly take time to feel those emotions before you talk to that person and see what's coming up for you. Why is this, you know, why are you feeling that way? But then trust those gut feelings, okay? So if your gut is telling you to run in a relationship, please do that. Like, you don't second guess yourself in that. It just causes you pain. So please don't do that. Just make sure that you're continuing to trust your intuition and your inner guidance. Okay, so I've got a couple extra cards we are going to take a look at here. All right. So we have Page of Fire. And the fire cards are all about passion and action. And this is a duality card. So on the one hand, it's about a person. And on the other hand, it's about a circumstance or an event, experience, that type of thing. And the Page of Fire, again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, even though a page is a woman. It could be a man that's coming through. And I'm getting, some of you it's a man, some of you it's a woman. And this is someone that is a little bit of a Dickens. So it might even be one of your children if you have kids that like to play pranks or that type of thing. But they're very outgoing, very creative. They might be an artist. They might like to draw. They might like to write music. Just I'm seeing very creative, and they have quite a bit of self-confidence. So they're not afraid of being out in the world, if you will. And what I'm getting around this is that this person is there to sort of help stir up your own creativity and help you get pushing you to act on the ideas that you have, because you have lots of different ideas of things to do. And I feel like you've been just putting them in a stack. Oh yeah, I'll get to that sometime. Yeah, I'll get to that sometime. Yeah, I'll get to that sometime. And then you don't ever go back through and see, okay, what's lighting me up now? And so I'm just getting that this person might spur you on a bit to do some things that are different than you have done in the past. And I do see kind of an exciting new venture. It could be a trip. For some of you, it is a trip out of the country. For some of you, it's just like doing something that's, again, outside of your comfort zone. And I get this as a fun activity, not necessarily a work activity. And then the other piece of it, of course, is tapping into that, those original ideas that you're getting and that creativity and really bringing that forth. So when you get an idea, rather than just be like, oh, yeah, that's a cool idea, not do anything about it, write it down, take some time to write it down. And if you are feeling like that really lights you up and it excites you, take some action on it. Just take one little action on it to get it moving forward, right? To let the idea know, if you will, that you're interested and you're going to take it on, and they don't need to go running around finding someone else, right? Okay. And then we have the sensitivity card. This is Archangel Haniel. And Haniel is just wanting to let you know that you are getting more sensitive. This can be around food, emotionally more sensitive, energetically more sensitive, all those kinds of things. And so one of the things that she's saying is that it's really important for you to stay grounded, and getting outside is a good way to do that, because being in nature always helps with that. The other thing I'm getting is if you're still eating a lot of carbohydrates, like a lot of pastas and that type of thing, a lot of gluten, that might be something to kick out of your diet. If your stomach has not been feeling good, you've been having, just different things going on with bloating or weight, the gluten can really affect that. And there's lots of gluten-free options. You can make noodles out of spaghetti, squash, you can use zucchini, you can use rice noodles. There's all kinds of different things that you can do and feel better around that. So honor what you're feeling, knows, what's coming up for you around that, and when you are being more sensitive to energies and that type of thing. Okay, oops, we got Michael next. So, this is always an interesting card. You've created this situation and you have the power to change it, right? We are creators. That is what we're doing here on Earth. We are creating things. And we don't always create what we want, right? Sometimes we create things that we don't really want. And so what they're wanting to let you know is that even though the situation that you're in is not something that you think you created, it's not something that you wanted to create, you did in fact assist in co-creating that, and you have the power to create something different. So just know it's not, you're not stuck in this, that you can create a different reality for yourself. You can shift things, and it's not all that difficult to do it. And if you need help with that, again, that's part of what I do with my coaching, is helping people shift the situations that they're in. And we do that using feng shui, using intuitive angel guidance, and then also a lot of my business experience, my spiritual experience, all those kind of different things to help you shift. All right. And then the last card we have, golly, this is so fascinating, because I had this come up in my, I don't know if it was the last reading or the reading before, I can't remember which, but where we got a message from people's loved ones that had passed over. And this is Angel Sonia, and it's a very similar thing. Just wanting to let you know there's someone that's crossed over that wants to connect with you. And I'm getting that this person, I'm getting that this is a female. I'm getting for some of you that this is a younger person, like maybe even a child. Because I'm seeing like a little angel is what I'm seeing around that, as, a little, when I think of the children, I think of little angels, right? And then for some of you, it's a little bit older person, might be a friend, could be a sister, and what I'm getting around this is they're just wanting to let you know that they are fine. Of course they're fine. They're better than fine. They're in their pure love state now. They're at peace. They're happy. There's no pain. Nothing like that going on. They're wanting to just express their, big hearts of love for you. They really, really, truly do love you, and they are around you, and you can call upon them and talk to them anytime. They hear your thoughts. So you can talk to them whenever you want. You can also ask them for signs. So lots of times people that have crossed over will leave pennies or dimes. Sometimes you'll see like a dragonfly, or you might see a particular, like a bluebird or a red bird, or could even be like the clouds take shapes for you. So watch for those signs from this person, because they are wanting to connect with you and communicate with you, and they are by your side right now. And I'm just getting there on your right side. And so if you're feeling any, feeling any tingling in your arm or leg or shoulder, they're right there with you. And so just connect with them. That's all they want. They just want to connect with you and let you know that they love you so, so much. And they're on the other side to be able to help you through whatever it is that you're going through right now. So that is what we have for you, Pisces, for the month of July 2016. I have a special going through the end of July, and this is a summer special on readings, and it's 15% off any of my readings. So you can go in to my scheduling link down below and use the code SUMMER, SUMMER, all in caps, and that will get you 15% off any reading. And I typically do, for those in the US, I will do the readings over the phone and we'll record them. For those of you that are outside of the US, I will send you a Zoom link and we'll record it that way. So it works out really slick. You get my Archangel Insight Guide, all kinds of good stuff. So just if there's something that you need more guidance around, I know a lot of people are feeling stuck lately, and that is something that I can definitely help you with. And just to help shift even your energy and your thoughts around what's happening for you right now, give you some perspective. That's really what these are, the private readings are about, giving you perspective. So that's really, really helpful. That's all I have for you now, Pisces. Have a wonderful month of July. Much love. Did you enjoy your angel reading? I'm sure questions have popped up for you about specifics in your own life. To get answers personalized just for you, click below to schedule your appointment. You can use coupon code ANGEL20 to save 20% on any one of my readings. For more information about me and Finding Your Fiji services, go to findingyourfiji.com. Enjoy your day.